At Jotform, we use our own product whenever possible. That includes forms, tables, apps, workflows, e-signatures, and more. But this has never been more prominent than with our recent launch of Jotform AI Agents, which we deployed extensively to help enhance our own customer service. So, what do we learn from eating our own proverbial dog food? To find out, today we're talking with Jotform's VP of Customer Experience, Taylor Grendel. Welcome to Momentum, a podcast by Jotform where we talk about the technology, productivity tips, insights, and best practices that help us move forward in business and in life. Let's get started.
3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Maintaining momentum.
Taylor, it's great to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm doing well. Hope the same for you too.
Awesome. I am super excited to talk to you today about Jotform's customer support, our experience with Jotform AI Agents, dive into all of that. Do you want to give a quick background on yourself, your history at Jotform, and then pivot a little bit more into what customer support at Jotform looks like?
Yeah, definitely. So my name is Taylor. I'm the VP of Customer Experience for Jotform. I've been a Jotformer for almost exactly 4 years now. I think April is actually going to be my 4-year anniversary at Jotform.
Congrats.
I've actually been using Jotform for about 5 or 6 years prior to that at some of my previous positions. So I came in actually knowing a little bit about Jotform already and how the product worked. We at Jotform, support is super important. It's one of the first things that we actually think about. Our organization is quite large with regards to the number of supporters that we have, the number of countries that they're in across the world. And it's something that we take very seriously at the organization. And like I said, it's one of the first things that we look at whenever we release a new product or whenever we're doing a new initiative. It's always support first before we do anything else at Jotform. So that's kind of our perspective on how things work here.
Right. And for a company of our size, can you talk a little bit about sort of the scope of our, customer support network, like, how many team members we have, kind of how that whole process works and scales?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think for our organization as a whole, we're actually operating out of 19 different countries across the world. So we have supporters all over the place in all different time zones. We make sure to have agents located wherever we have customers. And then, of course, we also have a large number of team members, of course, too. So and various teams altogether, our entire support department, it's actually hard to keep up. We're actually growing, it seems like every single day of the week. But we're around 250 or more at this point. So we're actually a large chunk of the organization. And like I said, support being the forefront of Jotform and something that we take very seriously is something that we invest a lot into from our perspective.
Yeah. Would you say that level of support is normal for a company, a SaaS B2B company in our space?
Yeah. I think obviously any company is always looking to provide the best support that they can. But sometimes I think that they're looking at it from this is just something that we have to do whenever we release a new product or when we're ever supporting a product that we already have. For Jotform, like I said, it's really at the front. We want to make sure that our users completely understand how to use the product. We're willing to help them with literally anything. That goes along with the hundreds of integrations that we have, which is why we have such a large and diverse team. We have people who have experience with backend infrastructure, front-end infrastructure. We have expertise that are related to every single integration that we have and that we offer. It's a lot to manage, but that's the type of investment that you have to make whenever you're looking at a platform with a scope as large as what we have. Yeah.
Absolutely. How would you characterize, I guess, more broadly, sort of the mission, our mission for customer support, our vision for it? Like, where does customer support place in an organization and rank of priority? Yeah,
definitely. Jotform absolutely makes support the priority. Our organization or our department gets whatever it needs. We get the tools, we get the software, we get the resources. Jotform is really looking at the support department as a big investment. It's how we get our customers plugged into the product. It's something that we are constantly going back and forth about between the data reports that we're looking at, We're looking at the response times. We're looking at the quality. We're looking at our CSAT scores, both internal and external. And so we place a lot of time investment on those individual things. It's what creates a really strong support department. Our position as support, and this goes both for our enterprise customers as well as our customers at Jotform.com, is that we are here to help you with anything. And sometimes if you have a problem, that means being your therapist. That means being your tech guru. That means being your integrations expert. And as long as it's on the platform, we're here to help you. We want to make sure that you're able to build out your form, your processes, your workflows. We want them to be as effective as possible. And we always recommend reaching out to our team, even when you don't have a problem. We have a lot of people who have been with us for a very long time since Jotform has been around. And we have a lot of knowledge on our platform with our agents and with the people that we have internally. And so if you're just looking to optimize, or if you're looking to solve a problem, you should definitely come to us first. We've probably seen it before. We process a large number of tickets, and we're always willing to help, no matter what it is.
Great. You say we process a large number of tickets. Can you give some insight into the volume of tickets we normally process?
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of funny because we don't necessarily always look at the number of tickets that we process when we're in support. Oftentimes, you're actually just in the trenches every single day, and you're just trying to assist your customers. And sometimes you have to kind of back up and actually look at what your impact and what your scope is. So this was actually a really great opportunity and exercise for us to really go, what does our year really look like? What does our impact look like with our customers? And on average, the number of monthly tickets that we process is usually around 40 to 45,000 tickets. So these are individual tickets that are being submitted by our customers, and we are getting a response on every single ticket that comes through. No ticket gets skipped. No ticket gets ignored. We follow up on everybody who reaches out to us. At the end of the year, that usually ends up with over 500,000 tickets that are usually submitted, usually closer to 600,000 or 700,000, depending on the year. But yeah, it's a big impact.
Wow, that's substantial. What would you say, and I'm sure we'll dive into this a little bit more when we start talking about AI agents and their impact and everything. What would you say is the key metric of success for customer support for your team?
Yeah, I think in general, it's feedback. Feedback from our customers, actually feedback internally from other teams. We actually place a big emphasis on that. We have a number of processes built in place. It often happens where maybe a product gets released or there was a change to our product where a developer actually has a better idea of what's actually going on. And they'll often say, hey, you guys, there's actually a better way to do this. Here's how you can improve. Here's how the team can improve. And we take all that feedback. And oftentimes, like I said, it comes from our customer base. They're saying, hey, this didn't work out the way that we wanted it to, or this did work out the way that we wanted to. You guys did a really great job. We take all that feedback. We look at every single bit of feedback that gets processed. We get thousands of CSAT scores every single month. That every single CSAT gets reviewed by a human being. We look at every single review. It's extremely important for us. And that also includes our social media. That also includes if you just send us like a legacy email, a fax, a phone call, whatever it is, we're reviewing every single bit of feedback across all of the internet that's related to Jotform. We take it very seriously, and we do what we can to make things right if there is a problem that we end up having.
Yeah. And support, is really that connecting point with the customer, especially for a self-serve product like Jotform. Obviously, we have enterprise where they're dedicated reps for enterprise accounts and that kind of thing. But for the primary base of our users, self-serve product, product-led growth, support kind of is the front line. They are the people who have that direct line of communication with users when they need something, when they need to optimize something. So that is so critical and important. So you're talking about how, the scope, the many tens of thousands of customer requests that we get. Let's get into the nuts and bolts of like how that works. We have a large organization, we have a large user base. What happens when someone actually sends a support request or ticket? Like what is the process from there?
Yeah, definitely. And I think you made a good point, specifically when you brought up enterprise, because that's also something that is very important to us, especially with customer relationships. And there are various process differences between how we manage our incoming tickets, both on BSG and on enterprise.
And BSG is our self-serve product. Yeah.
Jotform.com. Yeah. And whenever we do receive a ticket or a request to our website, or whether it's to email or, like I said, social media, all of that gets ingested through our help center that we have, which is actually public. People can go through and they can search things. They can try and find other people who have asked the same question over the years, literally, and be able to see how people solved complex workflows. But those go through our help center and they immediately get triaged by various team members. So what we're looking for is we're looking for priority. We're looking for where this ticket should go. Should it get escalated to one of our developers or engineers? Should this get escalated to somebody internally, someone who's a product expert, workflow expert, tables, inbox, whatever it is, AI agents? We're constantly looking at where we need to place that particular ticket so that way it gets actioned in the right way. Like I said before, I alluded to before, there isn't a single customer's ticket or request that goes unacknowledged. We make contact with everybody, regardless of what the platform is, and we try and do so as soon as possible. Now, most of the time, we try and make sure that we're sticking around a 30-minute to an 1 hour response time, depending on the day or the number of customers that are reaching out to us, which I believe is phenomenal.
Which is pretty great if you
platform.
consider the scale. Yeah.
Yeah. And the number of tickets that we receive. And one of the first things that we put actually above that response time is actually the quality of the response. So it's extremely important to us. And this is something that we actually tell all supporters, especially when they first join our team, is that what we're looking for is to provide our customer with a quality response first. That means making sure that we understand the question that's being asked of us. We understand the problem from front to back as best as you can. And then what we do is we try and solve the issue first response. We try to actually anticipate what you might ask next, and we try and follow up with additional user guides because we actually have, if I'm not mistaken, thousands of them at this point. I think it's actually over 1,000 at this point of user guides. And that number will be growing, which I'm sure we'll get into a little bit later here in this conversation. But we always try to anticipate the needs of our customers as well. So once we've triaged that ticket, once an agent has had an opportunity to take a look at that ticket, at that point, we will oftentimes chat as a team. We have various channels of internal communications, especially if it's something that we haven't seen before, which will surprise everybody. If it's something that we haven't seen before,
Does that happen often?
It happens enough to where it turns into a group challenge, and we try to address that particular workflow, and it becomes very interesting. A lot of our supporters really appreciate the challenge, especially considering the size and scope of our platform. So whenever we do have something a little bit more complex or a workflow that somebody's trying to solve that seems impossible, we can probably figure it out, which is why I mentioned reaching out to us, even if you just want to look to create a workflow that you haven't touched before or just improve a workflow. And all of that ends up with you getting a response. Like I said, within that half hour to an hour is what we're really looking to respond within, that you feel heard, acknowledged, and that hopefully your problem or your question is completely solved. If not, we're obviously there for any kind of follow-up that we have. But it's extremely important to us that we follow that process every single time. And that's why over time, especially with the advent of AI, it's very important that we also, as we use these AI tools, that we also stick to what we do best in customer support.
Right. And I think that is a good pivot. We don't want to bury the lead too much for the topic of this episode, but shifting gears to AI, obviously we released Jotform AI Agents in February, which is first and foremost a customer service, a customer support focused product. So, given our emphasis as an organization on customer support, it's had a significant impact on our processes internally. So I would love to dive into that. First, can you maybe just give a quick refresher on what Jotform AI agents are, how they help with customer service, and then maybe dive into your department's approach to adopting them internally and the kind of impact they've had.
Yeah, definitely. Jotform is as a platform or as a concept, and this is what I tell our customers when we have conversations, is that you want to think of Jotform as your central point of data collection for your organization. And so that central point of data could mean, HR has a form for you to fill out to get your lunch for the day. Maybe it's a credit card form. whatever it is, you want Jotform to be at the front of your business or the front of your organization, or maybe just your family gathering. Whatever you're doing to collect information, Jotform should be at the forefront of that. And then from there, you can get your information wherever it needs to go. It's the same thing with our AI agents. So our AI agents allow you to essentially automate that entire process. It allows you to have a more dynamic conversation with your customers, or a dynamic conversation with the people who would normally just fill out a static form, which increases engagement across the board. From a customer support standpoint, being able to add things like a knowledge base, or be able to scrape websites for information, or even be able to have API actions, which is my personal favorite part of the AI agent. You can expand upon that. For instance, our own AI agent has the ability to open tickets on behalf of customers. We do that through our API usage within the AI agent. If they have a question about a particular part of our product, we have it looking at our user guides, and we feed that information from our user guides, which are updated continuously. So the information is always up to date for our customers. So AI agents are really a way for you to automate your customer experience, or automate your ability to intake data, get it where it needs to go, but also give your customers something to actually interact with, or the people who are filling out your forms with, someone to interact with and have a conversation, rather than just filling out a static form.
Right. Yeah, it's much more engaging talking to an AI agent. They have some kind of persona, generally some kind of personality. They can converse in various channels, and as you mentioned, they can trigger actions. So to get a little bit more granular, what was your process, and at what point did you start integrating AI agents into our own customer support? Did you beta test it before we launched it? Did you just go from 0 to 100 right away and suddenly they're implemented across the whole organization? Was it kind of a slow increase, or what was your process to actually adopting and beginning with AI agents yourself?
Yeah, I think it's really important to kind of understand where AI agents came from. It really was internally developed as a fun project, something that the team could sink their teeth into, and something that maybe we could use internally for our own purposes. As time went on internally, kind of building out this tool, this like exciting thing that more people started to get excited about whenever they first saw it, it was like, okay, there's something here. There's a product here for us. And obviously, the first direction that we think of is we're like support. So there's so many different ways that we can use support for this to increase the various channels that our customers communicate with us on. And so that was really the kind of driving force behind that. And we actually did beta test the product for a little while for some of our customers behind the scenes. I think a few thousand customers were able to see it here and there for a couple of months before we actually got to the AI agent release. And actually, the same day that we released AI agents is actually the same day that we also released our AI agent to all of our customers. So it was a double stressful day for us in particular. Yeah. But that's we took a lot of feedback from our customers. We obviously reviewed all the conversations that our AI agent was having. We ran into problems. We found solutions. It was a really great way for us to also make sure that this product was going to be ready for any size level organization. The fact that we're processing 45,000 tickets a month, that may or may not be the case for a lot of organizations. They may only receive a couple hundred or a couple thousand, but we really needed to make sure that this thing could take on whatever came its way. That's really what we started with. Yeah. And, that's our development, especially over the past couple of weeks, has been really exciting as our customers have been using it more and more, both on the product side, which our product teams are obviously very excited about. They're getting a lot of feedback. Our support side has also been able to point the needle in the right direction for where the product should go next. We're constantly developing new features behind the scenes that we're really excited to eventually share with our customers, with optimizations and changes to AI agent, both based on feedback and honestly our own usage of it. Things that whenever it first came out, we found, this could be improved, or we could do this a lot better. The conversations have been really interesting because our support department actually has an opportunity to be a part of the product development, which is really cool within an organization, considering the number of data points that we have and how much our customers are working with our AI agents. So, it's very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the just support being that common thread between the customer and the product development team, that is so critical at an organization like this. And I want to just address something up front. I think that there is potentially some concern in the public rhetoric around AI agents will take jobs from support customer service departments, but that is not the case here. In this case, AI agents are just helping augment our own customer support staff, facilitate interactions, help everything run more smoothly. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely. With Jotform, and this is how it's always been at Jotform. We really, truly, honestly believe in helping our customers. I mean, it is the most important thing, and it doesn't matter what level you're at. If you're just using the product from a free standpoint, you have the same support as anybody else within the organization or within our pricing structure. It's really important to us that our customers are able to leverage the platform exactly how they want. And with that means that, we appreciate and want to maintain that human interaction that we have with our customers. What we're looking to do with AI is my example that I frequently use is that whenever you're looking to, let's say, just change the background of your form color to blue, you probably want to get that answer right away. Mm-hmm. And because we've answered that a lot, we understand how to answer that question. It's probably okay if you ask an AI to get the answer to how to change your color, the background color of your form to blue. And that's really how we see our AI agent being there as somebody who can work with you while you're working on your form or while you're trying to solve a problem, who can give you those answers immediately, very quickly, because these are things that we've dealt with many, many times throughout the years. What our human staff, or what we're here for, our supporters, myself included, is when you start to get into more complex areas of the form, of the workflows, which of course we want our AI agent to be able to handle as well. But sometimes you just need to have a conversation with somebody to be able to explain, hey, this is my scope. This is what I'm trying to accomplish on the platform. I have no idea where to go from here. That's what we're here for. We're here to have those types of conversations with our customers, and we're very good at those types of conversations, especially if you run into more complexities or problems. We're trying to help every level of our customer who's at, the basic beginner who's here at Jotform, who just found it and was like, oh, the form builder is great, but I just have a couple of questions. AI agent can be there to help solve those questions for you within seconds. Yeah. And what we're really excited about, which we're going to be releasing very soon, is the ability for us to actually take over those conversations, AI conversations, on request from our customers. This is both on our ticketing side and our help center, and also related to our AI agent live chat as well. So if a customer says, you know what, I actually just want to talk to a human, I want to have that conversation, we can do that at any time. You can reach out to us 24/7. And that's something that I'm really excited about as well. We're going to continue to maintain those human interactions for our customers. That's not going away at Jotform.
Right. Yeah. So the super simple request, changing the background color to blue, as you mentioned, an AI can usually, in most cases, help with that. And that frees up your actual human staff to address potentially the more complicated workflows and help with that even sooner than our response time already is. And as you mentioned, customers always have the option to talk to a real person. So I think those are really important points to make. Let's get into a little bit. I'm just curious that, Jotform it's a pretty sprawling platform at this point. We have so many products, so many offerings. You mentioned, the triage process. What was the process of training an AI agent, to really be a master of Jotform when you have so many different products and tools and integrations and features? Like, that just seems a daunting task in and of itself. Can you talk a little bit about that process?
Yeah, definitely. I have to give kudos to our various support teams that have been assigned to improving our AI agent. We have any number of people, between 30 and 50 people working per day, that are just reviewing AI conversations.
Really?
They're reviewing. Oh yeah.
That's their whole job. Okay. Wow.
Yep, that's what we're committed to, and our supporters know the best out of anybody how the platform works. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to kind of translate our knowledge that we have as an organization, as a support group. And we're trying to get that into the AI agent through various training methods. The biggest one, and probably I'll say the simplest, is taking our thousands of user guides that we have and being able to load that into the AI agents. That's probably the easiest step, I'll say. But what that actually identified for us was that we actually have a number of user guides that need to be changed or updated or edited that previously we weren't really aware of. And so this has also given us an opportunity to say, we have thousands of user guides. That's great. But I feel like we need to have thousands more. There's so much more that you can do with the platform. And so this has actually been a really great exercise for us. As we have people who are committed to making these reviews of these conversations, we're also then taking that data and we're actually putting it into our user guides to say, we've got gaps. We need to take advantage of this opportunity and start building out a more robust user guide. Section of our website, which is already kind of daunting when you realize there's already thousands that we have to review, and we need more. We need more. There's always time for us to create more, and so that process is really how we're managing the conversation review, the continuous improvement of our AI agents. Which I can say at this point, we're having thousands of conversations per day with the AI agent. There may be multiple questions that are being asked in those conversations, so it could be thousands more questions that are essentially coming through. And what we're trying to commit to is trying to review as many of those as humanly possible by a human being. We want to make sure that the tone is right. It's aligned with our best practices as an organization of how we treat our customers. We want to make sure that our customers are feeling heard. They're not getting frustrated. They're understanding that this is a tool that's here for them to use, and that we want to do whatever we can to improve it. And we're really excited because as time has went on, our team has just gotten even more skilled at using AI and using our AI agent tools that we have, which are the same tools that our customers have access to. There's really no difference between the two platforms. And so because of all the efforts that we're putting into it, every day we're making large amounts of progress on this. But like I said, it's thousands of conversations that our AI agent is handling, and it grows every single day.
Yeah, that's where the proverbial eat your own dog food comes into play with us. As I have mentioned in the intro, we use our own product very robustly between forms, tables, apps, workflows. But I can't really think of an example where we have so completely embraced so much of our product in the way that we have AI agents. Like, they are everywhere in our organization. Again, just enhancing, augmenting, facilitating, making things run smoother, run better. Because this is the use case that we want our customers to have. Truly is, and we are sort of living and breathing that ourselves. So that's really cool to hear about. Any specific, learnings that we've had so far? It's been a couple of months since we launched Jotform AI Agents. They've been out in the world for a few weeks at this point. In that time, what are some learnings? What are some discernible improvements that we've made?
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of things that we've learned have to do with how we manage our own processes and support. Identifying some of the gaps that we might have had in identifying, like I mentioned before, user guides. And, it has the product changed to a point that we need to update this particular user guide, or, how fast Jotform has been moving as an organization. We also need to make sure that we have the infrastructure to keep up with that on the back end. So that way we're making sure that those guides go live the same day that our products go live, if not before then. So those were some lessons that we definitely learned when we were first releasing AI Agent, because this is one of our largest launches that Jotform has frankly ever had. The product is so robust, and what we've learned from our customers was also critical to the development. For a long time, we had been hearing about some of the features, especially, like I said, my favorite are the API actions that you can take within the AI agent, especially working with our enterprise customers. That's really the most exciting thing that personally I like about the product.
Why don't you dive into that a little bit more?
Yeah, definitely. So it allows you to make API calls based upon the conversation that you're having with the AI agent. So one example, which I actually alluded to before, is we actually make those calls back to our ticketing system to escalate a chat conversation as a ticket. A customer may say, you know what, this is actually getting a little bit more complex. I need to move this over to a ticket to our help center. you could just let the AI agent know that, and it'll automatically open that ticket for you, redirect the user, and all of that's done through our backend API actions. And to the customer, it was just a smooth process, and they don't realize all the backend infrastructure that goes into something like that. We worked with a number of customers who are really excited about that feature because you're able to recall information from endpoints, bring it forward to your customers. A great example that I've heard several times from some of our healthcare customers are that they're looking to bring in appointment information into those chats. Now, frequently people are calling into doctors' offices and say, I forgot when my appointment was. And I've done the same myself.
Yep,
and,
same.
It'd be great if you could have a quick conversation with an AI, also not have to pick up the phone and be embarrassed that you forgot what time your appointment's at.
Been there.
Pull that information in and present it to the customer so they can say, great, I know what my appointment time is. So even simple things like that, that's what that type of functionality gives you the ability to do. It's not just being able to intake that information or have a conversation with a customer, but actually do something with it, along with all the integrations that we have as well. We definitely eat our own dog food when it comes to this product. For sure.
Absolutely. Can you talk a little bit about any of the other features that you feel are worth highlighting?
Yeah, definitely. I think what I really like about AI agents in general from the product perspective is how it integrates with the rest of what Jotform is, from our forms to our tables, everything. And I think also the integrations, like I mentioned, the API actions, but I particularly like Slack integrations as well. We have a number of our form processes that we use internally for our communication platform, which is Slack, and we actually leverage that with our AI agent as well to send stuff to various channels that we need to get actions on. Or have people review. And I think our integrations, like I said, especially Slack, they just work so well, built into our ecosystem is what I'll call it. Because Jotform, is just such a large product with everything and all the tools that we offer. I just think that the AI agent was implemented very thoughtfully, considering all the feedback that we've received from our customers over the year, which, like I said, or didn't mention before, but when you asked about what are some of the things that we've learned, one of the things that we definitely learned was to listen more to our customers, which we've always done. But the feedback that they provided us over the years really guided that discussion of where the product should be. And so honestly, what a lot of our customers have told us, especially in tickets, is that AI agents are great, and that they themselves are trying to figure out what more we could add to it for them. We spent a lot of time trying to identify almost every single need that we knew customers were looking to have in the product, looking back 10 years worth of tickets and saying, oh, we can add this to this product. And it left us with a really healthy stance whenever the product was released, to where, we're all just kind of waiting to hear, what would you like to have in the product? What more would you like to see? And our customers are saying, give us more time. Let us see how this is going to work for us. Because honestly, a lot of the functionality is exactly where we need it to be, which is really exciting from a product perspective, as well as a support perspective. It's great to see our customers really dive in and use these products and come to us and say, this is doing exactly what I need it to do. And there's nothing for you to improve on right now, which is awesome to see.
Feedback. We'll take that. Yeah. I think you make a good point. It is kind of the culmination of over a decade of interaction with customers and requests and learning from our users, listening to them. And this is something I spoke with Ideken about in the previous episode about, our philosophy with this launch was a little bit different. We were never the company that would just try to be first to market with something. It's not like, we capitalized on when AI agents became a common household name like years ago. It's like we took our time, we took a step back. We really tried to be thoughtful in developing the product, made sure we had plenty of beta testing and users and make sure it was fully ready to go. We were not in a rush because we wanted to do it right. And I think that philosophy has really paid dividends with just the reception that we've gotten to it so far. So that's a good thing to highlight. Are you able, you might not, are you able to quantify just generally roughly, how much time saved you would say Jotform AI agents has given us up until this point?
Yeah, it's hard to say right now. We've been continuously doing analysis week by week, day by day, and what happens is we continue to get mixed results from our data, which is
Of course.
not a bad thing. It's
Yeah.
not a bad thing. It really just shows that it's going to be one of these things that we really have to look at it from a long-term perspective to see what the
Yeah,
impact
it's still
is.
early on.
Yeah, it's still early, but there are days where we wake up and we go, "Wow, that was a lot of conversations that the AI agent had today," and we saw a reduction in tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And in some cases, we saw an increase in tickets, but the content of those tickets were usually more complex topics
Right.
from our customers. So the impact really has actually, I think it's just allowed us to support our customers via whichever channels they're most comfortable with. That's really what we're looking to do, is that we're going to say you can engage with us via phone, via an AI agent. If you just want to text us, or if you just want to have that conversation via a chat window, if you want to submit a legacy type ticket where you want to have a back and forth similar to like email, we're available for you, and we want to be present wherever we're at. So for us, from our support perspective, AI agents aren't necessarily, we're not looking to save an immense amount of time with it. We're looking to engage you on whatever front you're most comfortable with as a customer. And if it's AI, if it's a human being, if it's, with our enterprise customers, it's getting on a phone with a CSM, we're willing to engage you at whatever level you're at. And we're willing to skill up with you as well. Moving from Jotform.com to becoming an enterprise customer, to getting into more sophisticated workflows, and having calls with our CSMs to really get into the meat of the product. We're looking at AI as just another channel for us to engage with our customers on. Yeah.
Yeah, and really a way to meet them where they're at, and have many more ways to meet them, as you mentioned, whether it's phone, text, chat, anything like that. It really opens up the doorways there. Where do you see the future of AI agents and Jotform? Like, how do you think this progresses from here?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a really big question, and it's one that I've thought about. I know Ideken has definitely thought about that. I think our leadership team has thought about that.
But I guess specifically from your perspective.
Yeah. I think from the support side, I see AI as being an assistive tool, which is kind of generic to an extent, but it really is a tool that's going to continue to allow us to be more effective as a team. We're not looking for it to replace ourselves or our team members or anything like that. We're looking to make ourselves more effective as a team to assist the customer in whichever way is possible. We're even looking at using AI to help us solve internal questions that we have with our individual supporters, especially with people who are new to the team and they need their own resources to very quickly figure out the answer to a question. We're looking at this from all different angles, and really just looking at it to be an augment of our support team. We've got all of our great supporters that are spread all around the globe, and then we have our fun little AI chatbot that's there, that's kind of tagging along with us. He's our plus one, member of the team, and we really like that. And it's with Jotform and with AI agents, as it continues to grow, as the platform gets gets larger, and the tools get more effective. It's just going to make everything better for us. And that's really the perspective that we have. And a lot of our team members have as well, is that they're honestly very excited about this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tools that we use internally to help us with things like translations, making sure that we're following good formatting whenever we're writing sentence structures to our customers. All these different things will help us help you better. And that's how we're looking at it. And I just see that integration between the two teams, AI and our human teams, just getting stronger and better over time. That's really where I see it in the long run.
It is very exciting, and I feel like we are just at the beginning of the journey, as you said, where AI will be accompanying us. This is fantastic, Taylor. Is there anything else we haven't covered that you think would be relevant to mention?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I think just in general for every one of our customers, and I alluded to this earlier as well with mentioning our free customers, or whether you're on a gold plan or you're on enterprise, we're committed to giving everybody the same standard of support. If you just want to check us out and try us out and you have a few questions, don't worry about wasting our time. Please feel free to jump in, ask questions. submit a ticket, go to our help center, check out our user guides, provide feedback on our user guides. If you open a user guide and you say, I don't like this, let us know. We have a comment section on every single user guide. And we definitely appreciate any feedback that anyone can give us, especially with regards to our AI agent. If you find gaps or you run into an issue, let us know. We'll be happy to help. We're here to take on anything that you're trying to solve on our platform, and we will literally do our best to help you with anything. Sometimes it's CSS on a form. Sometimes it's embedding a form or doing something a little bit more complex, or a really difficult workflow or workaround. We're definitely here to help everybody out, and I'm really proud of the team. The number of tickets and the number of incoming questions that are across all the various social platforms that we have. Our team is super committed to providing the best customer support possible, and we work day and night to make sure that our customers are as happy as possible. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows, from an organizational standpoint, we are deeply committed to providing that level of support to all of our customers.
All right, fantastic. Well, everyone, you heard it straight from the source. This has been really an amazing conversation. Thank you again, Taylor, for coming on. For anyone listening, try out Jotform AI Agents yourself. Just go to jotform.com, AI Agents, and you can try one for free today. Or if you want to try it another way, just reach out to Jotform support. They are here to help, and they are here to make sure your needs are met. It is, as I mentioned, going to be an exciting journey. We have some new revelations, maybe features coming up that we can't spoil yet, but stay tuned. And Taylor, again, this is fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.